Give thanks to the Lord, our God and King. His love endures forever. For he is good, he is above all things. His love endures forever. Sing praise, oh sing praise. With a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, his love endures forever. And for the life that's been reborn, his love endures forever. Sing praise, oh sing praise, oh sing praise, oh sing praise. Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever, forever, forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever. To the setting sun, his love endures forever. And by the grace of God we will carry on. His love endures forever. Sing praise, oh sing praise, sing praise, oh sing. God is strong, forever God is with us, forever. Oh, forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever. His love endures forever. His love endures forever. His love endures forever. Oh, his love endures forever. Sing praise, oh sing praise, sing praise, oh sing praise. Oh, forever God is faithful, forever God is strong.
Today's scripture reading comes from Matthew chapter 9, verses 18 to 26. While he was saying this, a synagogue leader came and knelt before him and said, "My daughter has just died, but come and put your hand on her, and she will live." Jesus got up and went with him, and so did his disciples. Just then, a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, "If I only touch his cloak, I will be healed." Jesus turned and saw her. "Take heart, daughter," he said. "Your faith has healed you." And the woman was healed at that moment. When Jesus entered the synagogue leader's house and saw the noisy crowd and people playing pipes, he said, "Go away. The girl is not dead, but asleep." But they laughed at him. After the crowd had been put outside, he went in and took the girl by the hand, and she got up. News of this spread through all that region.
A few weeks ago, a few friends, my siblings and I, went on a trip to Switzerland. We did many activities on this trip, such as hiking, riding trains, and eating various types of foods, although the foods were mainly pastries and pastas, because that's what the influence from the other countries around it have on Switzerland. But that's beside the point. One of the activities that we did that stands out the most to me was we went paragliding. Now, for context, I have multiple fears, and the fear of heights is definitely one of them. So you can imagine paragliding might be quite scary for me. However, I had already agreed to go paragliding before the trip even happened, and we had paid for it, and it was non-refundable, so I couldn't really back out. If you've ever gone paragliding before, you know that it involves being strapped to a parachute, running, and being lifted off of a cliff into the air. However, it takes a lot more than just that, and for a tourist like myself, with no experience or training in the activity, I was attached to a guide that did know what they were doing and did have the training. I got to sit in this weird harness chair thing, which it felt like a little couch. It was really cool. You can't really see what the guide is doing behind you, but you can occasionally hear a beeping that gets higher and lower. This beeping is to show the guide where the air rises and where the air falls, so that you can go higher up into the air or it lets you down. You then float around in the air, and paragliders can go up to about 18,000 feet in the air or more, until you finally gently float down to the ground. You have to put a lot of faith and trust into the person who's guiding you through the air. Just like we can see the two characters in our story putting faith in Jesus. During the passage that was read, we see four key characters in our story: the synagogue leader, his daughter, the woman suffering from hemorrhage, and Jesus. Let's first take a look at the synagogue leader. The synagogue leader, or an official in other translations, was a wealthy patron or member of the synagogue. They would have been in charge of finances or even the order of worship. They would have been respected and would have had authority. And yet we see that this particular leader did not only just come to Jesus, but he bowed down to him. Bowing is something that is done as a sign of reverence in acknowledging someone's power. So by bowing, the leader acknowledges that Jesus both has the power and the authority. He tells Jesus that his daughter has just died, and that if Jesus just goes and lays his hands on his daughter, then she will be healed and live. The leader is not just asking Jesus if he can heal his daughter. He is showing faith by saying that he can heal his daughter, to which Jesus follows the man. We then see the woman who was suffering from affliction that caused her to bleed. She would have been in agony and basically would have been seen as a leper. She was an outcast in society, a stark difference to the synagogue leader that we mentioned earlier. For her to have come to Jesus and to touch him would have been seen as wrong in the eyes of the people of that time, because she was unclean, and therefore, by touching Jesus, she would also make him unclean. It would have taken her a lot of courage to go and touch him in his cloak. Even so, we see her faith shown in verse 21, where it says, "She said to herself, 'If only I touch his cloak, I will be healed.'" She doesn't say, "Maybe if I touch him," or "I should ask if he will heal me." She has faith that if she touches Jesus' clothing, not even his skin, then she will be healed. In Hebrews 11, verse 6, it says, "And without faith it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him." The verse around this one gives many examples of people in the Bible who have this kind of faith. It was a little over halfway through the first week in our trip that the day for paragliding had arrived. I should have been really nervous due to the anxieties that heights give me. However, I didn't feel this way. I felt calm and relaxed. I knew that I wanted to do this, and I had prayed to God that he would give me the courage to follow through with this activity. And I knew that he would be with me through it all. When you are attached to the paragliding guide, you need to have faith that they know what they're doing, because once your feet are no longer on the ground, there's nothing you can do. It's out of your hands, and it's into the hands of the person guiding you. In this story, we see Jesus acknowledge the woman's faith as he says, "Take heart, daughter, your faith has healed you." Not only has Jesus just healed her, but he has shown her great affection by calling her daughter. We then see him arrive at the leader's house where the daughter has died. The verses mention there being a noisy crowd and pipe or flute players. The musicians would have been hired for a public event, such as a funeral or a wedding. And the noisy crowd would have been mourners. Another translation uses the words "a noisy disorder." In that time, it would have been common to hire professional mourners for this. Jesus tells them to go away because the girl is not dead, but she is sleeping. They laugh at him for this. This is significant because they would have had to come to the house for the funeral. She would have had to been proven dead. But Jesus says that she is just sleeping. He then goes to the daughter and helps her up. He has rewarded the synagogue leader's faith by healing his daughter. We need to have faith that God knows what he is doing, that he will do the things that he said he would. Sometimes God's responses might not look like what we were hoping for, but we need to trust that he knows what he's doing and he has our best interest at heart. If I didn't have faith or the courage needed for paragliding, I would have backed out. I trusted that God would take care of me, and that if he didn't want me to go, then I wouldn't. I have no regrets about going paragliding. I quite enjoyed it. It was fantastic. You get a view of God's handiwork from a different angle that you wouldn't get anywhere else. If I would have said, "No, I'm not going paragliding," I would have absolutely regretted it. I would have missed a truly amazing experience, and as well as God's beautiful creation. Our need for faith is not limited to the big things in life, but also the small things. Whether it be walking off a cliff or just making a small decision to call a friend, God has the authority over all things. We need to ask ourselves, are we truly putting our faith in God? Like the synagogue leader and the lady, do we trust that he has the authority and the power over all things?
When darkness tries to roll over my bones and sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. And my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. And my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, shame no longer has a place to hide. Oh, I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. Oh, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. There's power in your name. Let's sing that again. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. There's power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in